we're talking about not the election now in Ebonyi State. That's the nomination of the governor that at the Court of Appeal for alleged double nomination as alleged by the People's Democratic Party. Now, the governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, is facing a legal battle at the Court of Appeal over alleged double nomination. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state, Ifeanyi Odii, is seeking nullification of the election of Governor Nwifuru over the claims that his nomination contradicts provisions of the Electoral Act. So, will he suffer the fate of Governor Mutfwang of Plateau State? Now, to just joining us for this discussion, we have Liberos Oshoma standing by, the legal practitioner, and let me start with Jide.
The governor is accused of belonging to two political parties. Usually what speakers do, or House of Assembly members do, is when they are defecting, they will announce on the floor of the House. The accusation is that Governor Nwifuru, who was Speaker of the Ebonyi House of Assembly, at no time defected to the APC. So he's accused of paying his dues to the PDP right up to the time when he got the ticket of the APC to contest as governor of the state. He was not known to have officially quit the PDP. So what people are saying is that if they were to apply the principle of appeal as transpired in Plateau State, then the judgment of the appeal court regarding the case in Ebonyi State could be predictable, except, of course, the Court of Appeal decides to contradict itself, because it's similar to what happened in Plateau in terms of not being qualified to contest. In Plateau, it was argued that they were not qualified to contest because they didn't do primaries. They did primaries in only 5 local governments. They disobeyed the order of the court. In this case, you cannot be in 2 parties. So we have to find out, did he really defect? Where? Did he defect on the floor of the house, which is the tradition? Yeah. So the court has to decide that otherwise it could be really terrible for the governor of Ebonyi.
The Supreme Court has given us a kind of prelude. Who can raise these questions? As somebody within your party or somebody that is directly affected. But now it's not the candidate of the People's Democratic Party raising it. Does this matter?
No, it's even Abga. It's the candidate of Abga. But then Nwifuru actually defected on the floor of the House. So they called that Dave Umahi defected to the APC. Okay. Dave Umahi is from Ebonyi. He defected to the APC. So some members of the House of Assembly also defected.
Is it on record?
Well, I think I read it then. I'm not sure now. But I know, Dave Umahi, who is the Minister for Works now, used to be in PDP. Yes. He defected. No doubt about that.
Long before.
Long before.
A long time ago.
Then I think 3 months before the end of the tenure of 3 months before the election, the speaker defected. I am not sure about that, quote unquote. But this case, well, we'll listen to Liberals, but this case is a bit different from that of Plateau. The person,
but it's still nomination issue.
It's nomination, you know.
That's the.
But at the tribunal, the 3 judges at the tribunal was unanimous. They said it ought to have been a pre-election matter. That's why they gave him a unanimous judgment, and they called the Abga guy a meddlesome interloper.
But they also in Plateau too.
Yeah.
The tribunal, the lower tribunal, also ruled that it was pre-election matter. But appeal court said no. But the appeal court was very abusive.
Yeah.
Those judges at the lower tribunal would they behave like people who do not understand the law. So
Okay.
the question is, what really is pre-election matter?
Let's get the legal interpretation from Libros. Thank you for joining us, Libros Oshuma.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo.
Now, the person raising this case now, and the way you see it, how would you describe this court case against the governor of Ebonyi State?
Yeah, AY, let's position the fact of the different matters so that people, our viewers, will understand the meat of what actually is played out. Jamiu said the speaker defected. No, the speaker never defected. When Umahi defected, the current governor, who was the speaker then, there were allegations that they defected. And the man deposed to an affidavit that he did not defect. The affidavit was deposed to by even the then clerk of the house. And he continually paid dues up until May this year, when elections were conducted. Continually paid dues in PDP because, you know, unlike the case of the governor who leaves his party, because there is no constitutional provision for a governor who leaves his party to lose his seat, but that of the assembly members, lawmakers, is clear that any assembly member who defects automatically loses his seat, provided he can show that there is crisis in the party. And the court had interpreted crisis to mean crisis at the center, the national office of the party. So to that extent, the current governor, who was the then speaker, insisted that he did not defect and continually paid dues as a member of PDP up until May. He went to court also, the State High Court. Also, when the court ruled that if he defected, you know, some members went to court to say that he had defected and he should lose his seat. And the judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja said that if they in fact did defect, that they are liable to lose their seat. And the man deposed on affidavit to say he's still a member of PDP and he didn't defect. Even went to court in Ebonyi to also depose on affidavit that he did not defect. So at all material time, he was a member of PDP up until May. The question now is, can you be a member of two political parties at the same time? This is distinct from challenging the candidature, because one of the grounds for contesting an election petition is that the candidate that was declared winner was not qualified to contest the election as at the time he contested election, was not validly nominated. So the issue is, can a candidate be a member of two political parties, what we can call Ihendeba? So that is a novel question for determination by the court. Unlike Plateau, the court insisted that they should conduct Congress in 17 local governments, but they conducted in only 5. And to that extent, the court took judicial notice of that judgment of the court, nullifying, insisting that Congress must be conducted, just like it happened in Rivers when Magnus Abe and Amechi's faction were having that crisis, just the same way it happened in Zamfara between the Marafa faction and Aziz Yari's faction. That's the case of Plateau. But the case of Ebonyi is novel and distinct. It's on the issue of being a member of two political parties. And I also think that we should not allow politicians to benefit from their shenanigans or to benefit from their manipulation. A situation where, because you want to beat the system, because you don't want to leave your party because of fear of losing your seat, you remain in that party and at the same time contesting election on the platform of another party. I think the courts should not allow politicians to benefit from such attempt to sidetrack the system. Because what they basically were trying to do was to circumvent the law, and it has boomerang on their face.
Are we going to categorize this as a pre-election matter?
So the issue now is, which pre-election...
what constitutes pre-election matter?
Kind of pre-election matters can also be had at the level of tribunal.
You see, people are carried away with this pre-election. A situation where, for example, you are contesting the primaries conducted. The primaries conducted that led to the emergence of that candidate. The court had consistently held that these are pre-election matters and the tribunal do not have jurisdiction to deal with them. But when it has to do with how this candidate became a candidate, issues of qualification, issues of, double nomination, issues of, being a member of two political parties, also issues of non-conduct of congresses and non-conduct of primaries, violating a court order. These are not issues you can say are pre-election matters. These are both pre- and post-election matters. But for pre-election matters, the court has heard who can bring an action, I think by virtue of Section 34 or so, that it must be a candidate who participated in the process. I think 134, Section 134 of the Electoral Act, a member who participated in the process. Unlike the previous 2011 Act, where anybody can bring an action. But in this case, it is somebody who participated in the process. But here now, the question that the PDP should be asking the judges to determine is if a candidate in an election can belong to two political parties, considering the fact that he was paying dues in one political party and then a candidate in another political party, deposing to an affidavit that he belongs to this party and at the same time belongs to the other party. Can you validly belong to APC and PDP?
I wanted to ask you quickly that have we faced this kind of situation before? Do you have any reference points to this?
Any precedents, yeah.
That is why I'm telling you that is a novel issue. So that the court do not mix it up with the issue of just membership, like the case of Peter Obi, where the question of Section 77, the issue of Section 77 was called into question. This case is novel. That is why I'm narrowing it down to that question of, can you validly? It is forbidden. If the court forbids, if the act forbids double nomination for two positions, by extension, the law also forbids being a member of two political parties at the same time contesting an election in one and paying dues in the other one. So that is the issue. That's the question. You know, every year we amend the Electoral Act to accommodate novel issues that have come up, just like the case of Amechi, for example, and Omehia, when the Electoral Act was subsequently amended that if you do not participate in the process. This is such a novel case where the law is that if you cannot accommodate double nomination, you also cannot accommodate being a member of two political parties at the same time running for election. Even though you are not running you are not being nominated by the two parties, but in this case, you are a member of two political parties. You are occupying the office of one as a speaker. You are contesting the office of governor in the other one.
Hold on.
Let's look at this quickly. I want to touch briefly on the judgment of the lower tribunal that gave him victory.
Unanimous.
What were the judges talking about? What were the elements at play?
The judges of the lower court missed the point completely. What they were dwelling on was the issue of candidature and membership of the party. That membership of the party is an internal party affair. And that since just like the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court heard in Peter Obi's case, that since the membership of the party is not in doubt at that level by the party, and that a candidate of another party cannot question it, or that the tribunal cannot question it. But the issue, that's why I said they missed the point. The issue is simple. Can you be a speaker in PDP and contest for governor in APC? That is the issue. That is simple. You are a speaker in PDP, holding PDP, paying dues in PDP, depose to affidavits that you're a member of PDP. At the same time, You are flying the flag of APC.
You have to leave it there, Libros.
PDP at that point.
Thank you, Libros. I want to thank you for your
PDP at that
intervention. Libros. Okay. Our time is spent. Julie. Another locus classicus.
Yes, well, I want to see how the appeal court will decide this matter. Well, I was not sure about its resignation. I think we have to clear that.
Educate on this. Moji Jamiu, I want to thank you. The Maestro. Papa Jide Kolade Otoju. Thank you for always being there.